Welcome to this edition of Believers Talk with Joe and Steve. We are your hosts. I'm Joe.
I'm Steve.
And we wanted to come on here to just tell everyone to relax a little bit. We've had time to think about the draft, and obviously the pick we're talking about is Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Relax. We'll talk about that, but before we do, just remember, if you are new to the channel, subscribe to this network, like or dislike this video, comment. We'll continue to have Bills content. We'll discuss everything Buffalo Bills related, including draft picks we might or may not have liked. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Josh Allen. We were both upset when it happened too, but here we are a few days later, and we just want to kind of talk about it a little bit. So go ahead. I don't know if you want to start us off.
Yeah, most of you guys who watch our videos know that I was a big Rosen fan.
Right.
So to me, this is kind of like a hit when we traded up and Rosen was still there. I thought there was hope, but kind of creeped in. Josh Allen is obviously our quarterback now.
Yeah.
The more I read and kind of like watch the videos of the guy and speaking, seems like a very nice guy.
Right.
Easy to like. Obviously, I love his size.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
6'5", 235. He's a big boy. He can take a pounding. In like our pre-draft videos, I kind of liked him to Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
As far as size.
Right.
He has a cannon for an arm.
Oh, absolutely.
Just the accuracy kind of worries me a little bit. The anticipation. He did wait in college. To make some throws, so that kind of worries me a little bit. Maybe all that gets better in the pros. Didn't have much around him, so he was the team.
Exactly. For me, you know, I know I heard a lot of things about Wyoming prior to Josh Allen getting there, and how they make bowl games the next 5 years before him being there, things like that. And then he got there, and all of a sudden they were just a better team. And so we have to take that into account. This guy is an athlete.
Yep.
Right? Like something you have to say, he was more athletic than Josh Rosen. Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He not only played football in high school, but he played baseball, and he was on the basketball team. I read he was the leading scorer on the basketball team.
Okay.
And he threw a 90-mile-per-hour fastball for his baseball team.
Which I can believe that because he has a cannon.
Yeah, right. He has a cannon. I mean, he throws the football 70 miles an hour, so that's what he did with the baseball. And that's one of the reasons why he wasn't so highly sought after coming out of high school. Because while other quarterbacks like Rosen, Darnold were on 7-on-7 camps, he's in this small California school playing basketball and baseball just to stay active. And so that's why he wasn't so sought after. That might be one of the reasons. But yeah, he's athletic, strong arm. He'll be able to whip it in there on those cold, windy days, I guess. I guess that's a big deal. And we also have to remember, going up to the draft, a story that you and I didn't believe, which didn't end up being true anyway, but Josh Allen was talked about as being the number one overall pick, period, by Cleveland, right? And obviously that could have just been a smokescreen, but there's something to that.
Yeah, if he was in consideration, then do we possibly get the possible first overall pick?
Exactly.
I mean, obviously the Bills liked him enough to trade up to get him.
Right.
We gave up 2 second-round picks to get him.
Right.
I think we overpaid a little bit, but you do have to overpay to get a quarterback. And when you're going to get the quarterback, every other team knows that.
Yeah.
So you have to make that move. And also, we don't know what Arizona was going to offer up.
Exactly.
Maybe there was a lot of speculation that Arizona was going to trade up for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now they ended up, after we took Allen, they traded up to get Rosen. So who knows if Allen was a smokescreen for them or not, and made the Bills pay more. But we have him now.
We have him now, and that's the thing. Not only like Arizona could be using him as a smokescreen, Tampa Bay could call Buffalo and said, "Hey, this is the offer we're getting from Arizona. What can you do?" And we might have maybe panicked, or maybe not, or maybe said, "You know what? We have this capital. Why not use it?" And we did. And he's our quarterback now, like you said. I mean,
now they also had a trade talked out with Denver.
Yes,
Denver backed out of it when Chubb was still there.
Available,
And at that trade, we were trading both first-round picks to get him. So
it worked out.
It worked out nice for us this way. Now, if 10 years from now, we look back at it, or even 3 or 4 years from now, we look back and he's lighting the league up. Those 2 second-round picks don't look like anything.
Don't mean anything.
You give that up for your franchise
Absolutely.
guy. I think he has the potential, and I think in our draft videos I even said too, out of all the quarterbacks, he has that highest ceiling, but that floor is really low.
Really low. Yeah. I was reading an article on him as we got the pick in. I would say you do as much research as you can on the guy, and it was funny. One article I read was like, all the armchair draft experts are so low on this guy, but obviously these NFL experts, not necessarily draft experts, but like the guys on the team, they're high on him. I mean, there's a reason for it, and we'll see what happens. I mean,
there's so many comparables. Everybody, the most notable one, and maybe it's because of being in McDermott, being in Carolina, is Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And he's that athletic.
Yeah, absolutely, he's that.
He reminds me a lot of Cam Newton.
Not that fast, but that athletic.
Yeah, he's very athletic. As far as arm strength, I think he has better arm strength than Cam Newton. And I think it's been talked about, he has the strongest arm that's been out in the draft in years.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't relate to him off the field as Cam Newton. So I think he'll be a better teammate than Cam Newton. But yet we don't know that because
we have no idea.
I don't know anything about him. Anything like how the coaches and the players react to him and stuff like that. But it's just, you hear the Cam Newton, you hear the Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz's coach actually coached
Wyoming,
Allen at Wyoming.
Yep.
Then you hear this Jay Cutler stuff, and it's like, oh my God, Jay Cutler did have some nice years, but I don't want Jay Cutler being my franchise quarterback.
See, Jay Cutler's skill set, I'd be okay with. Jay Cutler attitude, no. Like, because Jay Cutler always had this attitude of, I'm just here. Like, he didn't put off the fact that he was a natural born leader. We saw that even when he came back to Miami, when at the beginning of the year he was like, "Oh, I'm ready to go," and then by like halfway through the season,
he's like, I'm just trying to get a paycheck.
Exactly. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, we just want to come on here and kind of just have everyone. We know we've heard it all, and we're not happy. But let's get happy. Let's get behind this kid now.
Yeah, I'm not hating the guy because I see the potential in him, and if I had my choice, I would have went Rosen, like I said. But I would have taken Josh Allen over Darnold. But the only thing with me with Allen is I feel everybody gets so wrapped up in his arm talent.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that I could do least with. Like, if you don't have the arm talent, okay, but the accuracy and anticipation has to be there, because you hit the weight room, you can build up your arm. I believe when he was in high school, he was coming out, he was like 6'3", 180. Yeah. And now he's, 6'5", 235. So he hit the weight room, his arm got stronger as he developed. And maybe he's just a late bloomer. He really had no offers. He went to junior college. So he's still working on that potential, and he can be something great. And if he is, my God, we're set for a while.
We are. And as we have his stats up here, I'm looking at stats. I mean, you told me before we got on there, he did a lot of throwing from on the run. Yeah. Right? Which will affect your accuracy. If you've ever tried to throw on the run, you'll notice like it's not as good of a ball as you standing still in the pocket. He was sacked 48 times in 2 years.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So you talk about
and just think he only played in 26 games.
Right. Well, in those 2 years, 25 games. Yeah. Right. So in 25 games, that's 2 times a game you're getting sacked, right? That's a lot, and that's not even including QB pressures and things like that. We've seen Tom Brady, when he's getting hit a lot, be less accurate and be more frantic in the pocket. So you said that in the previous episode, 16 more completions, he's at 62% completion percentage, right? I mean, these are things that are all going to affect.
Yeah, how many times was that incompletion due to him throwing the ball out of bounds, a spike to kill a clock, or a receiver dropped it? So at first I was so worried about the 56% completion, because the past 2 years he's been 56 and 56.3, so it comes out to like 56.2 is his average in his career at Wyoming. It's something you worry about, but then I also look at other quarterbacks like Kelly, Marino, Brett Favre, which Brett Favre is kind of more of a different type of quarterback, and I really am not a huge fan of Brett Favre's gunslinger, wild man, kind of mentality on the field. But Kelly Marino had mid-50s completion percentage.
Yeah,
and they didn't have much around them in college either.
Yeah, so we, as armchair analysts, as some like to call it, we simply look at the numbers, right? We don't necessarily go back and watch game by game to see what happened. Like, I would much rather take an incomplete pass because he threw it out of bounds outside of the pocket than take a sack 10 yards back. Yeah. Which is something that our previous quarterback had a hard time doing.
Yeah. Because then his stat numbers
his stats still go down. So it all depends how you look at it. I mean, again, 2 sacks a game, that means he was probably running for his life a lot. So let's get him an offensive line for protection, and then give him time and see what he does.
Yeah. The thing is, too, he scored very high on the Wonderlic test.
Yeah.
They put him on the board, and they liked what they saw on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're not privy to that information.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's something to look at. Like,
yeah.
he can be a very smart guy. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he is, and he can read the defenses, and he understands what's going on.
Right.
He's coming out of pro-style offense, and, you know, the things that Carson Wentz has done in the league, they can kind of look back and see what Philly's done and then kind of incorporate that into their offense.
Absolutely.
Also, too, DeBall, he's coming in as a new offensive coordinator. He knows a lot of the college game.
Yeah.
So maybe they run a little more spread because I think 85% of the time in college at Alabama this past year, they were in shotgun.
Right.
So maybe they interpret that into the offense here now. And there is going to have to be different offenses for Allen and McCarron.
Yeah.
And whoever wins out the job.
Right.
I mean,
that's great.
It's going to be the offense that they're going to have to switch it for each one.
Yeah.
I'm kind of. I would love to see Allen come in and start right away, but I think he does need a year to
He does. So I feel like if I see Allen starting game one, that worries me a little bit more.
Yeah.
But as you talk about the Eagles, one thing I thought of too is what the NFL seems to be turning to a lot more of is this run-pass option, right? And Allen would be a good quarterback in that kind of system with a run-pass option. You talk about the ball with the college system; they run that a lot in college. That might work, and we have that really good running back that would be really good to help us out with that as well. Yeah. So yes, and yeah, I'm getting more and more okay with this pick. Yeah, like, I'm not sold yet, but he's here now. I'm still very excited for preseason too.
Yeah,
like,
the thing is, before we're looking at what's the safest.
Yeah.
What's the the floor.
Right.
Now here we are. We have him.
Yeah.
We want to believe in him.
Yeah.
We want to have the excitement. So we're looking at that ceiling and I'm like, my God, if we could just get him like that. It's hard. I was explaining to my wife like, oh, I like this player, but his ceiling's in here.
Yeah.
Now you have Allen, who's way up here, but he could be way down here, and it's one of those things that you're just hoping for the best now.
Absolutely.
And as long as he's brought on the right way, know. Like I said, I'd love to see him start, but if he's not ready, please don't rush him because we need him for the next 10 to 12 years instead of for the next 3 years to fill in. I think A.J. McCarron is okay to start us out here a little bit. We'll have to see how that all plays out too.
And with the way our schedule works out, it actually works out really well for a rookie quarterback to come in. Like, let's say after our bye week, we're no longer in the playoff picture, or it's tough. We can start them, and after our bye week, we still have 4 of our 6 division games left. We have a couple tough games with Jacksonville left, and and they're mostly home, right? So I feel like if let's say by the bye week we're below 500, maybe put them in then and say, okay, let's see what we got now.
The thing is that if we don't start them out, like you said, we can get that sparking offense if need be.
Yeah,
kind of what they tried to do with Peterman last year, which kind of backfired a little bit. That was a road game in a tough environment in LA.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the environment was tough.
It's
the defense in general that he was tough.
Right.
He was going up against one of the better defense. So it'd be interesting to see how Allen plays. At camp and preseason. If he goes in and he's lighting it up, he's got to play. Like everybody's going to see that. They even mentioned in a press conference today that, if he's clearly the best quarterback, you have to play him. You can't hide that from the other 52 players.
And I want him to want to start week 1. Like, you want that. You don't want Allen saying, okay, they're going to sit me for a year. I'll learn behind AJ and everything. No, go out there, win the job. That's great. And if you do, wonderful. And we'll be cheering for you hardcore. I will say, though, I am really happy, even though they say Miami wasn't going to be quarterback, I'm really happy Arizona jumped up to get Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Because if Miami would have got Rosen, and then for the next 10 years we're looking at Miami instead of New England, it would have been rough.
The other thing, too, is think about the quarterbacks now in our division. You have Tom Brady, who's aging.
Right.
They did draft a quarterback.
Believe it or not, he is going to retire at some point, right?
But for the next couple of years, we probably have Brady.
Yeah.
And then the Jets got their quarterback, Sam Darnold. So Allen's going to kind of be linked to Darnold, same draft class. He's going to be linked to the Rosen because of the same draft class. And then the other thing, too, is last year, we could have picked Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. So now he's kind of going to be linked to see who, who will work out with that. And he kind of reminds me a little bit of Patrick Mahomes. Everybody last year said Patrick Mahomes had the strongest arm they've seen in years. Yeah. Well, now he got bypassed because of
Josh Allen, right?
So did we like Mahomes last year and we just wanted to get that extra pick, or was it Josh Allen the whole way?
Yeah, because you have to remember last year Bean wasn't technically there yet, even though we're not sure what big footprint he had in that.
Yeah, maybe that's what McDermott knew, that they were going to make a change at the GM, so maybe he wanted to collaborate with a new GM, which turned out to be Bean, to get their quarterback.
Yeah, which would make sense.
And the other thing too is Josh Allen, when he was a sophomore, his numbers were 3,200 yards passing. Yeah. So he kind of lit it up last year. He had 26 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Right. So he had really good numbers. Yeah. And I think he had like 523 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. So he had a really good year last year, or 2 years
ago,
in 16. Yeah. And then this past year it kind of dropped down a little bit, maybe due to injuries and due to some supporting cast around him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and all those things can be a factor. We would like to think that if you're that good, you'll make the supporting cast better, but that only goes so far sometimes, especially in a college where your pool's a lot larger than, let's say, the NFL, right? It's easier for Tom Brady to make his wide receivers look good in the NFL because you're an NFL wide receiver. Yeah. Well, who's going to Wyoming? I mean, no offense to Wyoming, I would love to be there, but it's not the greatest college in the world. So.
Yeah, the other thing too is now everybody, like you said, is on a more equal playing field. Yeah. So he's going to have some talent around. Right. The thing that makes me nervous is, wide receivers, their skill set is the timing. Right. Like we don't have really any burners that are going to get wide open. So it's one thing. It makes it easier for a quarterback if you got 5-yard separation. So we'll see how he works with the tight window throws, the timing throws, and see how that helps him out. But because in college it seemed like he would be late at times, and he'd be able to get away with it because of his arm strength. Right. Will he be able to do that in the NFL? I'm not sure. Yeah. And
because of how open some of his receivers were. Yeah, that's the one thing. That was, I think, one of our biggest knocks on Tyrod was he couldn't throw that go up and get it ball. When we have a bunch of go up and get it wide receivers, Benjamin's probably one of the best in the game right now. Just go up and get it, and we'll see if he can throw that kind of ball.
Yeah, because Tyrod just wasn't the anticipation guy. Right. And it's kind of, now Allen's a lot bigger.
Right. Yeah.
And his athletic ability is very similar to me. They're the similar type of player. Allen's just a little bigger, has a stronger arm, but Tyrod had a strong arm too. So it's kind of, I'm kind of a little leery, but I'm rooting for the best here. And then you look at McCarron and Peterman. Those two quarterbacks are the anticipation accuracy. That's why I thought we would go more with Rosen. Yeah. Because he fits that mold a little more. But hey, I mean, if they know what they see in Allen.
Absolutely.
So we got to just wait to see what he pans out and how he plays at training camp and preseason. Yeah. And if he starts right away, great. If he doesn't, let's develop him and at least have him for the next 10 to 12 years.
Best form. So my question to you would be, and to you out there, please leave a comment. If you're listening to this right now, leave a comment. What would it take, we're looking back at this pick 15 years from now, what will it take for you to say, you know what, this was a good pick? Will you have to win a Super Bowl for us to say, hey, this was a good pick?
I think we have to be in contention. Okay. I wouldn't say, if you're looking at 15 years, I think in the next, and a lot of this has to do with the roster around him.
Absolutely.
So he's going to be on his rookie contract.
Right.
So for the next 4 years, we're going to have him around that $5 to $6 million range. Yeah. This is the time to build the team around him.
Yep.
He's going to have to develop in these next 4 years, and then after that, he's going to have to shoulder the load. Absolutely. Because the way the NFL works is the quarterback gets paid. Yeah. So his numbers probably around that time are going to be 20 million to, who knows, even 30 million. Like you saw what Cousins got.
Yeah. So and it's going to all be guaranteed all of a sudden,
and it just keeps going up. So that's something, the first 4 years, I think he needs to kind of play complementary football, kind of how Big Ben did. Yep. And then it's going to be on him. For me to say that this draft pick worked out, we have to be in contention. Yes, it's easy to say, if he gets a Super Bowl, you got your money's worth. But if we're in contention each year, I'm happy with the pick. I mean, he has to throw for 3,000 to 3,500 yards. Yeah, he has to be He has to be able to play in the league. You're looking at some of these other guys. Talk about Andy Dalton and how people are up and down on him. Like for me, Josh Allen for this pick to pay off. Josh Allen has to be one of those quarterbacks that you talk about in the top 10, top 5.
Sure.
At that time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he has to be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, but he just has to, in his playing career, he has to be talked about that top 10
Make a Pro Bowl, something like that. Yeah. I'll put a little pressure on him. If we don't win our division in the next, if we don't make it to the playoffs in the next 4 years, this pick was worthless to me. Yeah. This pick was worthless to me. That's 4 years, because then you're talking about your 5th year option.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's say you go 9-7 that 4th year, but miss out. Maybe I'll allow that. But
I think that, like I said, when I'm saying in contention, that's playoffs.
Exactly. Right.
I'm not saying
trying to division. You're saying contention for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think they need to make runs. The team that they're building is getting better. We've had a lot of turnover the past couple of years, and that's due to the new coaching staff getting their guys in. It's going to be a lot better with turnover now because we're getting the cap under control, and you're getting your players in there. And I think if you look back at the numbers, and Josh Allen can be very similar to Cam Newton, are you okay with that?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I think you got your money.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I agree with that completely. The reason this question came up is I was looking at a quarterback that was taken 7th overall in 1994, Trent Dilfer.
Okay.
Won Super Bowl. If he has the stats of Trent Dilfer, was he worth it? Because I've been questioning that myself. Trent Dilfer was a 50% completion percentage guy.
Yeah.
12. He threw more interceptions per game than touchdowns, but he has a ring.
So, yeah, he bounced around.
Right, he bounced around.
He started in Tampa Bay, and he didn't really do much there, and he just bounced around, and he lucked on to
the best defense possibly of all time.
And at that time, he wasn't really thought of as much. So for me, for this pick to pay off, Josh Allen needs to be the quarterback for the next at least 10 to 12 years. Yeah. And he has to have the Bills in contention.
Right.
Each year.
I agree with that. Yep.
I can see, him not playing for a year or two.
Yeah.
But for this to pay off, need to be in contention each year that he starts.
Absolutely. Yeah, I am in complete agreement with that. He is a top 10 quarterback. I mean, obviously, yes, we've seen a lot of top 10 quarterbacks fail, but we got this guy. Like, we got up and got this guy, so
and
he does well.
NFL network has touched on this. We have always taken somebody else's guy.
Yeah. Even Doug Flutie, Tyrod Taylor, all of them, they were someone else's backup for that matter. Yeah.
Now we finally have our guy.
Our guy.
They went and got it, so now we just need to support him. Hopefully he's it.
Yeah.
And go from there. Maybe 10 years, 12 years down the road, everybody's talking about
this great pick.
Yeah, look at this great pick, and look how the Bills brought in their own quarterback and they turned it around. Because we haven't drafted quarterbacks in the first round.
We haven't. We normally don't.
He's the 4th ever.
Right. We normally don't. So, and this is the perfect time to do it. Like, Brady's going to retire soon. All the other 2 teams, the Jets and Dolphins, they're kind of revamping as well. So this might get very interesting very soon. Next couple of years might get very interesting. But that was what we wanted to come on here to do. Bills fans, we know you're upset that Allen was the pick, but he's now our pick. So let's get behind him. We have things to look forward to. Very athletic, very big, very strong arm.
Yep. I think the farthest he ever threw a ball, he said, was 82 yards. So, hey, if you need a Hail Mary,
get open. Just go get open.
Let's get him a burner and see what can happen.
That's right. Let's get him Stevie Johnson back and see what we can do.
Stevie wasn't more of a burner.
Yeah, but hey.
Get a Lee Evans.
There you go. There you go. But that's all I had for you. I don't know if you had anything else.
I'm just wishing and praying for the best for Josh Allen. Let's keep him healthy and see what we can do. I mean, we've had some strong arm quarterbacks in the past, and he said for the weather, but hopefully he is a total package, and I'm kind of excited to see him play. I'm excited to see that skill set in the NFL.
Absolutely.
If he can be Cam Newton, and if he can my God,
we might have something. We might have something. So that's all we have for you this time. Again, if you have not already subscribed, please, if you're a Bills fan, you want to subscribe to this channel. We'll be here constantly giving you all kinds of content. Steve's very smart when it comes to contracts, players. He's on the ball. So, and I try to keep up. But that's all we have for you this time. Until next time.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.